The Seth Books by Jane Roberts, a Vedic spiritual review, how these teachings parallel and differ from true enlightenment. What if the voice inside your head wasn't yours alone? What if a timeless intelligence whispered through the cracks in reality, telling you that you are far more than flesh, more than time, more than any story you've ever believed? For millions of seekers, this whisper had a name: Seth. In the quiet living room of a poet named Jane Roberts, a revolution in spiritual consciousness began. And though she never wore robes or claimed divinity, her voice, guided by Seth, opened a doorway to a vision of reality few in the West had ever imagined. Today, we return to that doorway, not to idolize it, but to see clearly what lies beyond. Section 1. Who was Jane Roberts, and what were the Seth Books? Jane Roberts, 1929 to 1984, was a poet, writer, and psychic experimenter. Her journey into channeling began in 1963 during a spontaneous altered state after using a Ouija board with her husband, Robert Butts. Soon after, Jane began entering trance states in which an entity named Seth spoke through her. These sessions became known as Seth Sessions, eventually producing over 1,500 transcripts and dozens of books, many now considered foundational texts in the New Age movement. Key titles include Seth Speaks, The Eternal Validity of the Soul, 1972, The Nature of Personal Reality, 1974, The Unknown Reality, Volumes 1 and 2, 1977, 1979, Dreams, Evolution, and Value Fulfillment, Volumes 1, 2, 1986. These works were dictated word for word during Jane's trance states, transcribed meticulously by her husband, and are considered among the earliest modern channeled texts. Section 2. Core Teachings from Seth. Seth's teachings were broad, but several consistent messages emerged. 1. You create your own reality. Seth taught that beliefs are living blueprints. They do not reflect reality, they construct it. Your inner convictions shape events, people, outcomes, and even your health. This was a revolutionary concept in the 1970s, decades before manifestation became mainstream. 2. The self is multidimensional. Seth describes the soul not as a static entity, but as an energy gestalt, a multidimensional being expressing itself in many lives at once. Reincarnation is not linear. Other probable selves and parallel lives unfold simultaneously. 3. Dreams are real. According to Seth, dream states are not symbolic but experiential. They offer access to alternate realities, guidance, and healing. Dreams are training grounds for navigating multidimensional consciousness. 4. There is no predestination. Karma is redefined not as punishment or fate, but as a self-regulating learning mechanism. You can change the momentum of any life through awareness. Section 3. Vedic Comparisons, where Seth and the seers converge. Now let's look at how these insights compare with the Vedic map of consciousness. Beliefs create reality, Manomaya Kosha and Samskara. In Vedic psychology, the mind sheath, Manomaya Kosha, is shaped by subtle impressions called samskaras. These impressions determine perception, behavior, and future karma. Thus, like Seth teaches, our inner patterns truly do create our outer world. The Oversoul and Probable Selves, Atman and Kalpa Beta. Seth's idea of the Oversoul aligns with Atman, the true self, a field of eternal consciousness that projects into many lives. The concept of Kalpa Beta in the Puranas also supports multiple universes and timelines, each with its own set of karmic possibilities. Dreams as realities, Swapna state and Antarya mean. The Swapna dream state in yogic teachings is a valid layer of reality. It's governed by the Antarya mean, the indwelling guide. Just as Seth taught dream control and lucid awareness, Vedic practices like Yoga Nidra and Antarmona explore consciousness in dream realms. Section 4. Where Seth and the Vedas part ways. But there are key differences that matter, especially for the serious aspirant. No emphasis on stillness or detachment. Seth emphasizes creative self-expression and belief shaping, but not transcendence through silence. There is no concept of mona, samadhi, or ekagrata, the absolute stillness needed to dissolve ego. Overfocus on the personal will. While empowering, Seth's message that you create everything can lead to egoic inflation if not grounded in humility and detachment. Vedic wisdom always places the supreme consciousness above the individual ego. Lack of ethical yamas and niyamas. There's no systematic path like Ashtanga Yoga, no ethical purification before accessing higher states. This can open doors to subtle pride or imbalance, especially if seekers mistake insight for realization. Section 5. Scientific Parallels and Legacy. Seth's ideas anticipated many modern breakthroughs. Quantum physics now entertains the concept of multiverses and observer-created reality. Epigenetics and placebo science validate how beliefs shape biology. Neuroscience confirms that dreams are neurologically active and emotionally integrative states. Seth was not anti-science. He was pre-science. His work laid the groundwork for later consciousness pioneers, including Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, and even aspects of Eckhart Tolle. Section 6. For the Seeker Today. What to Keep and What to Transcend. If you, like many, found the Seth books in your youth, they likely awakened your sense of cosmic scale, of sacred agency, and multidimensional possibility. But as you walk further on the path, you must go beyond belief engineering and personal mastery. The soul doesn't just want to create new realities. It longs to dissolve into the reality behind them all. That's where the Vedic path shines. Instead of managing thoughts, it leads to their cessation, nirodha. Instead of playing with probable selves, it discovers the self beyond all forms, aham brahmasmi. Instead of dreaming new dreams, it awakens from dreaming altogether. Seth opened the door. Stillness leads you through it. So if you were shaped by the Seth books, honor them, reread them with new eyes. But also ask, am I still creating or am I dissolving? Am I shaping illusion or waking up from it? The true self doesn't just manifest timelines, it is beyond time. And to touch that requires silence, not affirmation, stillness, not story, mona, not more belief. This is where the ancient Rishis invite you, and this is where your journey now begins.